Moment we all been waiting for, man. NBA Finals start on Thursday. I'm so excited. It feels like it's been 2 months. Like you
Yeah,
said,
man.
there's other things going on, but the NBA Finals just hits different. I think this is going to be one of the most exciting finals that we've seen in a while. So I'm looking forward to that. But
Mm.
Celtics go up against the Boston. I mean, I'm sorry, the Celtics go up against the Dallas Mavericks in the regular season. I know we don't really use that as an indication, but we can take a little bit of insight from there. The Celtics swept the Mavericks in the regular season 2 games to 0. Only the second game showcased the new look Mavs as well too. And I know our guy Carl Kayas likes first things first, so I definitely looked at some of their graphics that they had. So since the trade deadline, including the playoffs, the Celtics have a 37-8 record, and the Mavericks have a 34-14 record. Their defensive rating is essentially the same. Field goal percentage is essentially the same. Offensive rating gets the slight edge towards the Celtics, and the opponent's field goal percentage is essentially the same as well too. So these are essentially the top defenses in the league. And with their starting lineups, assuming that Porzingis is going to play, Celtics 31-10, Mavs 27-6 as well too. And then what Carl talked about earlier, but more so on the Celtics side, this may be one of the not only the easiest path to the finals, but like Carl said, they haven't played any 50-win teams when the Dallas Mavericks have beat 3 50-win teams on this run to the NBA Finals. I'm going to hand it over to y'all first, and then I'll go on my little rant. What's your predictions? Go ahead, Carl. What's your predictions?
I got Mavs in 6.
Woo! Okay.
I think this is again going to be like we talked about arrived. I think this is really going to be like Luka's moment. I could honestly see Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum being like the next Karl Malone and John Stockton.
Okay.
Which it's ups and downs because those two are Hall of Famers and they're all time great players. But they just always got close and never could get over the hump because they were always facing better competition. And so I just think that Luka and Kyrie are going to go crazy. And they have shown, at least, we don't have to talk about before this run. In this run, they have shown more consistency than the two stars have for Boston. Mm-hmm. And it's been a tougher run. So that just me. I think that the Mavericks are going to win. I think that 6 is about right. I honestly feel worse if it goes to 7. Mm-hmm. I feel like if it goes to 7, I might take the Celtics in that situation.
See, I feel the opposite way. I feel like if it goes 7, I'm a little nervous. Luka and Kyrie going in there and beating them. But yeah, keep going.
But I would say, I feel you. I just feel like if it's game 7, they're gonna feel. I just feel like it's gonna be a stronger feeling for the Celtics of like, damn, now we're really at this point again. Like we have to.
Get a little sweaty.
Yeah, I think that the mental is just going to kick in a little bit more for the Celtics. But that being said, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that they're going to close it out in 6 or less, and that Luka is going to play like LeBron, numbers wise.
Yeah, nah, I got the Celtics in 6. I'm saying 6 because it's basically the opposite of what you said with 7. I feel like if they get to a game 7, it might be scary. Like just seeing that virtuoso performance by Luka game 5, I was like, wow. I've seen him play live in the playoffs 3 or 4 times now. Nothing but amazement. But I'm gonna be curious to see what the game to game halftime adjustments, crunch time adjustments gonna look like from Joe Mazzulla. This is his first time as a head coach in the finals. Obviously he was under the coaching staff with Ime Udoka as well too, so has somewhat of experience. I think with the Celtics, they're going to be a lot more poised this time around since they've already been to the playoff. Been to the finals as well too. Granted, Luka and Kyrie have been there as well too. But I'm curious with the role players, like what are we going to kind of expect out of them? I like the Celtics starting 5, but they're probably going to run 7 people in the rotation as well too. But it's kind of going to be like Dallas Mavericks. Like you're going to stagger minutes, so Kyrie or Luka are going to be on the floor at all times, and I feel like JB and Tatum are going to be on the floor at all times. I know this is a completely revamped Mavericks team from their second time playing each other. But I watched a little bit of the second game as well too. It's going to be a different defensive task for the Mavericks. Everyone has a high level of IQ. Everyone can shoot the ball at a high clip as well too. And I feel like Luka's going to play great, but I think his percentages are going to be a little lower than we saw against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they're going to really make him work, because when I was watching that second game, JB got the switch on him like every single time and was going at him. Tatum was going at him as well too. So he really had to work on the defensive end. So I think he's going to be in a lot of pick and roll action. I'm curious to see how it's going to affect Gafford and also Lively as well too, where they're more comfortable playing inside the paint, roaming a little bit as well too. I feel like Cat, it's kind of, PJ was guarding him, you know what I'm saying? And then Gobert, he's basically 4-on-5. So whether you have Horford or Porzingis, I feel like they're pretty much interchangeable. Where I saw a lot. For example, Kyrie was starting on Drew Holiday, and Porzingis was cooking them. Derek Lively didn't know what to do, but I feel like he's gotten better from there on. But two, they did a lot where, and I think this is a stat too, Porzingis was the most effective in post-ups, but they would literally get Kyrie in a switch, get Porzingis in the block. Porzingis either going to bag him down, shoot over him, or they doubled him right away. And there's no weakness with Derek White, Drew Holiday, Tatum, and Brown out there. So I feel like from an offensive standpoint, this is going to be Dallas's toughest matchup. And although Lively's been playing relatively good defense, I'm sorry, not Lively, PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr., I just feel like
it's a different monster.
It's a different monster when it comes to them as well too. So with that being said, I think Tatum finally gets over the hump. Will he win Finals MVP? I don't know. But I'm assuming that
he has to.
I'm assuming that everything that they said about Porzingis, I think he's ready. I am a little nervous as well too when you don't play for that extended period of time, how your rhythm and timing is going to be, your chemistry is going to be with the team. But the way in which they play and the way in which Porzingis is utilized, I think I'm more so concerned about him defensively as opposed to the offensive end.
Okay.
Especially like with Al Horford, what he was doing. That's gonna be nice. Both of them coming in and out for each other. Pause. But Al Horford is gonna get cooked on the defensive end. We saw what Nembhard did. We saw what Tyrese did before he got hurt. And what's the white boy's name? The guard.
You talking about McConnell? TJ?
McConnell did as well too on that switch, and now you got Luka and Kyrie. So that's going to be interesting. And another thing I noticed as well too was they kind of took the philosophy from the Houston Rockets when they won 7 games in the conference finals against the Warriors, where they switched on everything, which they did, and I'm cool with them switching on everything. Gafford really doesn't. He didn't really show too much of a back to the basket. Needed it Lively as well too. So I'm confident with them switching on everything, one. And two, I think they said the Celtics are one of the least amount of they blitz the least amount as well too. So I think they're gonna have the philosophy where they basically just let KD cook and stay home to everyone. So I think they're gonna let Luka cook, because he's gonna get his buckets anyways. But it's the others that are I think they're gonna disrupt the others' rhythm as well too. So I got the Celtics in 6.
Okay. I mean, y'all covered it really
Take the
well.
hate out the way. Let me hear your actual take, man.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
for me,
yeah,
I think it'll go 7. I think it'll go 7 games, and I wanted to go 7. Again, I always talk about just the love of like watching it as a fan. We haven't had a Game 7 finals since 2016, right?
Yeah.
So like I'd love to just see like
6.
again that battle of like the getting your first chip on both sides. I think
Excuse me.
I think from the Celtics standpoint, it's like you said, they had no weaknesses, kind of pick your poison on offense. I am going to make a bold prediction here though. I think Kristaps Porzingis is going to have a bad series.
I mean, it's not crazy. It's not far fetched to say it's gonna be a bad series just because of the amount of time taken off.
He might also get injured again.
I think.
You said what?
He might also get injured again.
He might also get injured again. Anyone can get injured too.
I wasn't even gonna go there with it. I was just saying like strictly from a mentality standpoint of like the moment being too big for him type shit.
Well, this is his first finals go around as well too. So yeah, we gonna see.
And
I think Carl, episode or 2 ago, we were talking about like maybe a couple episodes ago, we were basically talking about playoff performers
and how they
he's
go
been up and
down.
down.
Yeah.
With his, so
I think that will affect just a little bit. It won't obviously won't affect them like too bad, but
I just feel like I feel like Joe's just simple with all that talent and Joe simplifying his role. It's just hard to imagine me seeing him have a very shitty series. But I don't know. I could